Mom couldn't stop crying when she realized who was in her son's coffin. The trauma is often more intense, the memories and hopes harder to let go of. As such, the mourning process is longer and the potential for reoccurring or near constant trauma is far greater. The death of a child brings with it a range of different and ongoing challenges for the individual and the family. The pain of grief is extremely intense as parents digest the finality of never seeing their child again and the loss of future hopes and plans. While memories of the child flood their mind, they also experience a deep emptiness of unimaginable void in their lives. Anna was a devoted mother who cherished her son and was ready to do everything within her power to ensure his success and happiness. Unfortunately, he suddenly died one day, and at his funeral, Anna angrily opened her son's coffin. What happened next made everyone scream. Anna raised her son Harry in a small town. They didn't have much, but they were happy and content. Anna worked very hard to give her son a good education and to provide him with everything he needed. She made sure to spend quality time with him and taught him all about the importance of family, diligence, and kindness. Anna was also quite protective of her son and hardly let him out of her sight. She loved them very much, and he was all she had. When Anna was younger, she fell in love with Zachary, a handsome young man whom she'd grown up with before him. She was interested in anyone, nor she had dated anyone. She found it hard to trust people, but Zachary made it easy for her to open up her heart to him. They had a whirlwind romance, and Anna got pregnant a few months into the relationship. She told Zachary about it, expecting him to be supportive, but his reaction shocked her. He threatened her to choose between him and that thing she was carrying in her belly in response. Anna reminded him of all the promises he made to her, how he would love her till the end of time, and how he wanted her to have his child. Before she could even finish her sentence, Zachary cut her off and tossed some money into her hands and got rid of that thing. "I'm not ready to be a father," he said, before walking out the door and eventually out of her life, leaving her alone to deal with the shame associated with being pregnant outside of marriage. A few people took pity on Anna, while others talked behind her back and thought her life was ruined. After all, she was just 19 and had no parents or relatives that they knew of, so how she would raise the child alone during the pregnancy, Anna wondered. Anna wondered if she had made the right choice by keeping the baby. She was a young girl with limited prospects for a promising future, and here she was about to have a child. Perhaps it would have been much easier to do what Zachary wanted. She wondered as well how much that seemed to be the easy way out. Anna never really found the strength to do so, ready to do all it takes to be a mother. Anna took on different menial jobs and began saving for the future while working at a convenience store. Anna met Linda, a wealthy woman who owned a nonprofit organization that supported teenage mothers. With Linda's guidance and support, Anna was able to gain financial stability. In due time, she delivered a handsome baby boy, whom she named Harry. When she held the boy in her arms for the first time, tears of joy streamed down her face. "My dear son, I promise to never leave your side. I will always be here to guide you and protect you," she said before kissing his forehead. For many years, Anna kept a promise she made to Harry. They were together every single day and only spent a few hours away from each other, usually when Harry was in school or Anna was working as a teen. Harry participated actively in sports and was the captain of his football team. He also excelled in his studies, often getting straight A's. Aside from that, he was quite handsome, so the girls would often throw themselves at him. Thanks to his mother's advice, he knew how to keep them at arm's length and avoid trouble. After graduating from high school, Harry was awarded a scholarship to attend an Ivy League college, thousands of miles away from the small town he grew up in with his mother. Anna felt bittersweet as she said her goodbyes. While it saddened her that her son would be so far away, she knew this was an incredible opportunity for him to pursue his dreams. So she wished them all the luck in the world. At college, Harry majored in computer science and graduated with honors. Soon after, a renowned software company recruited him, where he met Barbara, a customer service representative. They became friends and eventually developed romantic feelings for one another, and before too long they began dating. Barbara, similar to Harry, was an ambitious individual who wanted more out of life, although she wasn't as advanced in her field as Harry. She had a knack for business development and marketing, so she suggested that they start their own business, and Harry agreed. He did some market research which revealed the potential profitability of a betting app. So they decided to venture into it. They launched their product, and it proved immensely successful, far exceeding any expectations they may have had. They were able to hire additional staff, purchase a building, and grow the business exponentially. Harry's success with the betting company came at a cost. He found himself too busy to visit his mother as often, and he was always exhausted, feeling burned out, and having trouble sleeping. Harry longed to have his mother close by, so he asked for her if she could move to the city and live with him. However, Anna turned down his offer, saying she preferred staying in the small town, as it was the only place that could feel like home to her. Though Harry understood this decision, it didn't make missing his mom any easier, nor did it ease the pain of being away from him for Anna. One day, Harry decided to surprise his mother by making a 6-hour drive out to see her. His visit was met with so much joy from Anna as they spent time together catching up on their lives. However, when Harry shared that he wanted to propose to Barbara, Anna's countenance immediately changed something, which didn't undergo notice by her son. When Harry asked what the problem was, Anna said, "From judging all that you've told me about this Barbara girl, I don't think she's good for you. She cares more about your money and the company than she does about you. You need to run from her. She's dangerous." For the first time in his life, Harry argued with his mother and defended Barbara. He claimed she wasn't a bad person, and at once Anna got to know her better. She would change her mind about her. Anna strongly disagreed, but blinded by his love for Barbara, Harry couldn't make sense of his mother's words. So he left in anger. A short months later, he married Barbara in a civil ceremony. He knew his mother wouldn't approve, so he didn't invite her. He brushed off her warnings as a display of overprotectiveness. If only he had listened to his mother a couple months later, Anna was completely taken aback. When she heard the news that Harry had passed away and that Barbara had already set a funeral date, she learned that after Harry returned from a short business trip, he got home very exhausted and fell asleep, but never woke up again. Anna's heart was heavy with grief as the hours leading up to her son's funeral passed. In a blur, hurriedly got dressed and rushed down to the city, where his funeral was being held. She desperately sought answers as to why her son had suddenly died and why a funeral would be arranged in her absence. Thankfully, Anna arrived just as Harry was about to be lowered into the grave when she asked Barbara if she could see her son. One last time, Barbara refused and instructed the pallbearers not to open the coffin. Desperate and furious, Anna forced her way through the pallbearers, who tried to stop her. Then she made her way to the coffin and hastily pushed open the lid. What happened next made everyone scream. Anna noticed that her son's chest rose and fell with each breath he took. He wasn't pale like a dead person. He looked alive. Convinced that her son was alive, Anna raised the alarm. "My son is alive. He's not dead," she screamed. Then she pointed an accusing finger at Barbara. "I know you're responsible for this. What have you done to my son?" People were stunned by the unexpected sight before them. Rushing toward the coffin, they discovered that Harry was indeed breathing and alive. An ambulance was called immediately to take him to the hospital for further examination. One of Harry's friends, who happened to be a police officer, was present, and he immediately took Barbara into custody. Desperate for leniency in her sentence, Barbara confessed that she had given Harry an overdose of sleeping pills so that she could bury him before the effects wore off. When Harry woke up and learned all that happened, he regretted not listening to his mother. However, he was glad that she had saved them, giving him a second chance at life. As it turned out, Barbara had attempted to get rid of Harry so she could gain full control of Harry's assets and the company. As punishment for her crime, she was ordered by the court to give up all rights to the company and was sentenced to prison some years. Later, Harry met Clara, an honest and kind woman who sincerely loved them. After a few months of dating, they got married and 2 children and lived happily ever after. Everyone reacts differently. For some, it is the initial shock that they are gone. For some, it is the ongoing loneliness that occurs day after day. But it all hurts, truly leaves a hole in your heart. You may think you're going along okay one day, then suddenly you're back to square one. A song, a random thought, a smell, or a memory takes you right back. It gets easier, but the loss never goes away. No grief isn't gone. Every now and then, it slaps you out of nowhere. I'll be fine, and then a scent, a sound, a picture, a song, a memory will just punch me in the gut again. Now the pain doesn't last as long. I know because I've been through. What I've been through, nothing can hurt ever as much. Little things that used to irritate me or make me mad don't bother me at all. I don't take anything for granted. Often we are immediately following the initial raw pain, involved in planning funerals, informing relatives and friends of the deceased, and thus kept very busy. I found that one day after this I was ironing a shirt, and it hit me that there was no longer a point in or need for this, and that's when it hit me. This combined with pouring 2 mugs of tea, buying his favorite biscuits, etc., all combined to an intense and raw longing for the time when these things had a purpose. What do you think about this story?